So, as for questions on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, I'm just gonna do a totally big hashtag Ask MIMEI right now because I haven't done one in so long. So, let's do it.
MIMEIrando.
I want to look on Instagram first because there seem to be some really good questions on Instagram. Why did you name your new kitty Sugar? There are a lot of questions about that. So we were thinking about a few other names, but honestly, like, it had to be Sugar. There are a few ones, you know, like Mocha, Espresso, Starbuck, Bean. I think there was most of them, but Sugar, it just had to be Sugar. And also because I have my cat Instagram, a warm cinnamon latte, and now it's a warm cinnamon latte with sugar, so all their names kind of go together. And the reason we called our cat Sugar is because of Yoongi from BTS. So yeah, if I could put a BTS trash can on my head, I would do it. How old is Sugar? Sugar was born on the 4th of November 2017, so you can do the math. What are you most excited for releasing for Kawaii Asbro in the future? I have some t-shirts coming out, my spring collection. I'm super excited about releasing it because I've been working on this for like 3 years and finally I can release them. Like, literally, you guys are gonna see the pictures and it's gonna be like nostalgic because in the pictures that I did, in the promo pics that I did, I have the blue hair. Remember the blue hair? Like, that was like, oh my gosh, that was quite a while ago now. How many tattoos do you have? Oh my gosh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
At least eight. Any recent book or music recommendations? I actually have a link below that links to my favorite books, and if you hover over the book, it has a little note about why I love that book so much. But I really want to recommend The Song of Achilles. That is one of my absolute favorite books, and it is just lyrical, beautiful, amazing, incredible. I love rereading it because it's just so great. Yeah, that's the one I'm going to recommend this time. So if you read it, let me know and we can talk about it on Twitter or something. Would you like to do a fan meeting in Europe? I would love to. I love meeting you guys and I would love to do that. If the opportunity arises, I would love to do that. From all the names from BTS, why did you guys decide on Sugar? Because it matches our theme, because it's cinnamon latte and sugar, and they all kind of fit together, but also because we both love Yoongi. What would you recommend for sightseeing in Tokyo, Japan? What I would recommend is that you get off the beaten path. Whatever street Google Maps is telling you to go down the side street. Because a lot of Tokyo is like kind of grid-like in its construction. So if you go down the side street, you're still going to get to your destination, but you're going to experience the beautiful side streets of Tokyo, which are just so cool. And that is really the Japan that I like, and I think you will enjoy it too. Go into a random coffee shop. Go into a random izakaya. Just don't necessarily feel like you have to go to all the tourist spots. Like, I guess people would say like Asakusa, Akihabara, or places like that, but I think that those places can be really overwhelming and really full of tourists. In fact, I always prefer to visit Asakusa at night because it has a really cool night vibe, but everything's closed at night, so like, it's really up to you. But I would honestly say get off the beaten track. Get on a train and get off at a random station. Like, maybe even just don't plan for a day and just walk, because Tokyo is a great walking city and you'll always find a station. And these days, because you can just, you know, look up on Google Maps how to get back to your hotel or your Airbnb or whatever, it's not really like you're going to get completely lost, and people are pretty helpful here. So that would be my advice. Get off the beaten track as much as possible, because there are a lot more tourists in Japan than when I first moved here, so I think that the tourist spots can be really overwhelming. Would you open a new PO box? I think a new PO box is coming, guys. Yes! It's coming, a new PO box is coming. Pens or pineapples? Pineapples. No, pens. No pineapple. Pineapple pens. I have a pineapple pen. You can't get me on this one because I actually have a pineapple pen. Can you choose a favorite cat? No, I will not choose a favorite cat. Would you ever consider getting a piercing? Dude, I used to have a lip piercing. Have you seen the emo photo of me that I put up on Twitter, which I now somewhat regret doing? Yeah, I had a lip piercing For a long time. I took it out when I came to Japan because, you know, Japan, pretty conservative when it comes to what you can do with your face for jobs. Coping mechanisms for anxiety or just when you're having a down day. So this is a difficult one because I think different things work for different people. I really like calming tea and things like that. Breathing really helps. Yoga really helps. I love Yoga with Adrienne here on YouTube. Her videos are so great and she really does some great self-love stuff. So I totally recommend checking her out. And just finding what works for you, which I know it sounds like a cop-out because it's really hard, but calming tea, a nice walk, taking a photo of something that you love, drawing a little bit. I also do coloring. Coloring is really good. And not pushing yourself too hard, letting yourself have a bad day once in a while. It's okay. Like, if you need to cry, sometimes you just need to cry. Like, don't be too hard on yourself, because we are so hard on ourselves, guys. What advice do you have for someone who's starting college and is moving out on their own for the first time? So it's going to be a great adventure, and a great adventure will have some hard times and some really awesome times. And you will always be able to, you know, phone home and contact your loved ones. So don't worry too much and do your best to put yourself out there a little bit, because that really can help, you know, to not feel very alone. Because I think what can happen when you start a new adventure is you start feeling really, really, really alone. I know I felt really alone when I first came to Japan, but making sure that you have some connections with people and putting yourself out there a little bit, that can really help. And honestly, you're going to be fine. You are going to be fine. I feel like English jokes and speech is so different to Japanese, and I worry I'll sound rude and not get along with other Japanese students. I think Japanese people generally don't expect us to necessarily share the same type of humor, and that's totally okay. Just, I think listening is really important. Just listening to the way other people talk and to what they say and to how they make jokes will help you to pick up on what you can do and how you can approach people and how you can make jokes. And good luck! I'm interested in working in a school environment as an English teacher. In Japan, would I be a less desirable candidate for a job if I had a tattoo? So where is your tattoo? That's the biggest thing. If it's on your hand and you cannot hide it, then you are not likely going to be able to work as an English teacher. But if you have a tattoo, for example, like on your back, and you can easily hide it, then no problem. Do you have any advice for students in their last year of high school? You know, this is an interesting one because I didn't do my last year of high school. I actually left school at 17 because I had already finished everything. So I didn't experience my last year of high school, and I regret it. Like, I wish that I had done that. I think that the last year can be really special. So I just hope that you can not worry too much about academics and enjoy it. And also, I mean, obviously academics is important, but honestly, I was thinking about it the other day, and literally, like, no one has ever cared about my high school grades except for when I applied to university. You know what I mean? Like, these things do not define you, and they don't define where you're going to end up. So it's really interesting. Like, high school is kind of like a pit stop, and also university as well. Like, there's this highway, which is life, and high school and university are kind of like a pit stop on the highway. And there's more to come. I hope that makes sense. Tegan's into linguistics and foreign languages and wants to have a career that focuses on that, but everyone says it won't work out in the long run, and they want you to do something that makes a lot of money. To be honest, if you are not a person who is motivated by money, there is absolutely no reason why you should concentrate on doing something that makes a lot of money, because you are going to be so much more fulfilled by doing something that you are passionate about. Do you have any interest in learning Korean? I do. Oh my god, I have... Where are they? I bought these BTS Korean learning cards the other day in Shin-Okubo. So yes, I'd really love to learn more Korean. A lot of YouTubers I watch in Japan are leaving. Where do you see yourself and Duncan living in 5 or even 10 years? I don't see myself leaving Japan. I absolutely love living in Japan. I really do. There are good things and bad things about Japan, but for me, Japan is a place that I really want to stay and live in and I have no plans of moving, and me and Duncan have no plans of moving. So yeah, if you're following me just because I'm in Japan, you can keep doing that. I got asked about my BTS Love Yourself tattoo, which I just had touched up yesterday actually. I just had the orange and the blue touched up. So this has been really special to me because it is, first of all, beautiful, and also it really does remind me, you know, come on girl, you gotta give yourself some love sometimes, you know. And I'm actually planning on extending it. This person wanted to know about the pain levels and how the ink will last. I think color tends to need more touch-ups than black ink, but I'm not an expert, so I can't really tell you. And the pain level to me was not very high. Like, I think the big pieces have a much higher pain level because you have to do it for hours and hours. Whereas like this little thing here took about 5 minutes, and even though it really, really hurt, it only took like 5 minutes. So any kind of fine line tattoo doesn't really hurt too much. Disclaimer, that's just my experience, and everyone has a different pain threshold. What is Sugar's favorite place to sleep at the moment? He likes sleeping on our faces or on Duncan's neck. Where do you recommend finding traditional Japanese snacks that are made vegan? You're probably quite lucky there, because if you go into a wagashiya, a traditional Japanese sweet shop, most of the stuff there should be vegan. I mean, it's usually pretty vegan, I think, especially if they're made in the traditional way. So I would totally recommend picking up some of those. If you're in Japan, if you're not in Japan, I'm really not sure where you'd find them, but definitely like a wagashiya, because like the red bean paste, mochi, stuff like that really isn't made with any animal products. What's your favorite BTS side track? That's hard to answer because, oh my gosh, they have so many great jams, but I know that I listened to Dimple like 10 zillion times, so possibly Dimple. Does that count as a sidetrack? Like, to me they're all just such jams. VidCon 2018. If we're invited, we'll definitely go, but I do not think that we will be invited. Tips on how to enter this year with a positive mindset. This is just how I like to think about it, but every cloud has a silver lining. Like, there is always something good even in the darkness, and you can always find that thing. So hang in there. I talked for so long that the camera shut off and stopped recording, so I'm going to end it with this beautiful picture of a fluffy demon cat, which I give a 100 out of 10 to, and I hope you guys are having a fluffy day and sending lots of love your way.